So what is the church supposed to be? That's the million-dollar question that we are going to answer in this class. So far, we've read a lot of good material on what it is, but we are still formulating our own ideas and concepts. We are in a struggle to take what we learn in our text in class and combine that with the folk ecclesiology that we extracted from our congregations and the Bible. Let's get started by looking at what my congregation thinks the church is. Prattville's congregation tends to think that the church is supposed to be educational. We're supposed to teach people about God, how to have a relationship with Him, and how to be a better believer. We're supposed to be a lighthouse or a sanctuary, a place where when things are hard with your life or things get tough with your faith, it's a place that you can go and you can be safe and you can be loved, and it's a place of security. It's supposed to be a moral compass. It's a place where society has come to live or come to learn how to live correctly. The comment I got is that the church has been teaching people how to live and live together for thousands of years, but how to live properly in community. The church is supposed to be a rejuvenator of believers. This is something that I've preached about in a couple of sermons, that that church is a celebration of the week that we've had before. It's a celebration of and a renewal of the call that we have in our lives. That church is not a place that we come to save people, or it's not a place that we bring people to that need saving. That's something that we do outside of the church, and then we come back and we celebrate those things together, and we celebrate those things. Now, that's not to say that the church doesn't participate in the saving process or the redemption process, but I view church more as a place to celebrate those things that have happened throughout the week, and also to disciple people. That's kind of one of the things I teach. But they all said that the church is a form of community. It's a place where we come together as believers and as people who love God, who need to be together. And that was one thing that just rang true with all of them, is that it was a place of community. Now, let's talk about our reading. Our texts have pointed us in a lot of different ways, but kind of at the same thing. Probably the most influential thing that we've read, or the most influential thing for me so far, has been Severson's article about the church as an event. The reason this really affected me is it kind of goes hand in hand with what I already believed but wasn't really able to articulate. The church as an event is a really cool concept because it is something that started when Christ was here. It's something that's been going. It's a mission that's been going since Christ. It's not something we started. It's not something that we fabricated in order to get people here or to make money. It's something that we are participating in. It is something that we are renewing each day. It is the church as an event is just an awesome concept because, we're a smaller congregation. We run 30 to 35, and I always tell everybody, it's not just us. We may seem small, but we are a part of the church as a whole. Our church goes all over the world, in every nation, in every people group. While we're just 30 to 35, there are millions of us who are gathered together in that day to worship and to grow closer to God. Well, this goes beyond a geographic event to an event that stretches across time. We are not just a church that is big as far as number goes, but we are a church that has been going for ever, and that was just an awesome concept to me. So that really affected me. Now, the Bible. What does the Bible say church is about? The story that was brought up a couple of times in my survey, but also it's the story that I think of personally, is the woman at the well. She was an outcast. Jesus had no business talking to her. She was a woman. She was a Samaritan. And she was at the well in the middle of the day. So obviously she had some inconsistencies going with her history, that she wasn't there with all the other ladies. But you know, Christ didn't go in and judge her. Christ didn't go in and say, "Woman, you need to get your act together. You need to just stop all this mess you're doing and then we can talk." No. He came in, he offered her living water immediately. He says, you know, "I will give you water that will make you thirst no more." After she said, "Yes, I want it," he says, "Go and sin no more." And I think the concept there for the church that we need to learn is we have to drop this whole idea of people getting right before they come to church. And we say, "Oh, we don't preach that. We don't preach that. You know, we preach that the doctor is for the sick, not the well." You know, but we do. We put conditions on people in order to be in our churches. We want those people to be right before they get there, whether it's our laity or whether it's our pastors. We have to learn from these things. And the thing that I'm learning through this class is none of these things are wrong. We are to be these things. We are to be activists and communal and a compass and a lighthouse and all of an event. We're supposed to be all of these things. None of them are really wrong. But what we have to focus on is on the renewal of the people. That is our ultimate call. We are to bring people back into right relationship with the Father.